Hello everyone, welcome to Anchor Point Passions. I'm Sarah Sherman, and today we are going to be doing another movie review video where I get to review some archery movies and TV shows that are really popular and show you whether their form is correct or not correct, or how they're doing well in archery, etc. So I've got 4 really great movies and TV shows. The movies that we have today, we have Avengers, we have Avatar, we have Lord of the Rings, and we have Katniss from the Hunger Games. So definitely watch. Also, I wanted to let you know that I do have a surprise for you guys. As promised from the last video, I do have a surprise, so make sure you watch until the end of this video so you can see what the surprise actually is. The first video that I have here is Hawkeye in the Avengers, so let's go watch that. Alright, so we have a video of this is Hawkeye battling the Chitauri in the Avengers. So right as that camera comes around, you'll notice that his elbow's actually out like this instead of being out like this. When you're shooting, you want to make sure that when you have an arrow loaded onto your bow, that from the rest all the way up the arrow and then continuing down through your arm to your elbow is completely straight. And I believe I have a photo of this, I'll show it to you, of what an inline archer looks like from an aerial view. You want to make sure that you're inline as possible because this is the strongest stance for an archer when you're shooting, and make sure that you have your strongest possible shot. You're inline so all of your muscles are working properly. Next we have a video from Avatar. This is Neytiri when she first meets Jake. So there's 3 things that I think that are interesting about this in particular. The first thing is that she's not anchoring. When you're shooting archery, you want to make sure that every shot is exactly the same. This makes sure that you have as much consistency as possible. So having that anchor, that good strong anchor, or since she's shooting barebow, her hand really should be here. And making sure that anchor is strong and consistent every single time she shoots. That is how you get good shots. Also, what I thought was really funny, so she holds the string like this. So her hand is facing outwards of her face and not inwards. Normally when you're shooting, or just in general when you're shooting recurve and barebow archery, your face is always palmed towards your face, so you'd be shooting more like this. That was kind of interesting that I caught, and I was just like, wait, what? Finally, the last thing that I thought was interesting was that she puts her finger on the arrow. Now, I know this is like something in movies and TV shows because they want to make sure that their arrow doesn't fall off their rest. And for these types of bows that don't have rest, it's just the bow, your arrow will just stay on your hand. If you can put like a little lean to it if the arrow just, comes right off the rest. But really, you don't have to put your finger on the arrow. And especially when you're getting ready to shoot, like she was about ready to shoot Jake, and her finger was still on the arrow. And what is even more concerning to me is that her finger was on her broadhead, and that broadhead's a poisoned broadhead. So if she would have let loose that arrow, that broadhead would have just absolutely slit her finger, and then she would have been poisoned, and then she would have died. So do not put your finger on the arrow. Next up we have, I think this is the coolest scene from the Lord of the Rings with just the trilogy in general with Legolas. And this is the scene where he takes a shield and stands on it, slides down some steps while shooting arrows, so let's watch. So he takes the shield and he's shooting these arrows, which I think is really great. And that just takes a ton of balance. Just to be able to slide down stairs and shoot like this and just, slide down the stairs, have your balance, keep on shooting those arrows as fast as he was doing, like absolutely props. Also, he was coming back to his anchor every time he was shooting, which also props. Probably should have been up here, even though he was down here. Still props. I don't know if you noticed, but as the camera came around to the back of him, you could really see his alignment. And when he was shooting really fast, he didn't have a lot of time to think about his shots. So when he came back on that last arrow, he kind of shot like this. We call this T-Rex arms, and I'd call this like weak chicken wing. You want to make sure that your shot is the strongest it can possibly be. So you want to make sure you extend that arm out and that you bring that elbow up so you are in line with your arrow, in line with what you're doing, so that you have the strongest possible shot and you're not like all cramped up like this, because this is tense. You can't really shoot like this, and you can start to get like collapse like this instead of expanding out. Strong shots. So last but not least, we got the Hunger Games. Yay! So her form here looks really good. Maybe except for just the fact that her arm is just a little overextended. This can happen to women especially. Our arms can get really overextended, and that's where the arrow slaps us in the arm. So, you know, we always want to make sure that, you know, our arm isn't like absolutely extended out, as you can see here like this. In one of the shots I did catch her hand was just under her chin, so she didn't quite make the contact to the anchor, but again, quite a few of her shots, it was clear she was coming up into her anchor, making those shots. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Those were the 4 videos that I went through to review. I hope you liked them. So I haven't forgotten about my special surprise, and the special surprise is that I'm launching my first documentary on Tuesday. Yes, I am so excited. It describes my struggle in archery when I came into college, and I really kind of got down on myself. I hit a plateau where I wasn't getting any better, and I wanted to get better so bad, and I lost confidence and my score started to go down. So through this documentary, I talk about how I get out of that, hopefully inspiring you that if you are at maybe a plateau in your life, or maybe whatever you're doing, it doesn't even have to be archery, whatever you're doing, and maybe you're starting to see opposite effects of what you want to see. I'm really hoping that this documentary can really provide motivation and inspiration so that you can pick yourself back up and really see that you are worth it. You really should go after your dreams and just push through the obstacles to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Alright guys, so if you liked this video, please click that like button. If you want to see more, please click the subscribe. If you loved this video and you want to chat, please put some awesome words down into the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to be notified right when my video comes out, please click that bell. Other than that, I will see you on Tuesday with my documentary. Bye.